Ronak, how are you?
I'm all good, man. Thanks for having me.
Super. Pleasure to have you guys. And Fully Filmy is a super awesome brand. So I'm really excited to kind of learn from you guys and talk to you about your journey. So starting off, Ronak, I mean, trivia guys, for all of you watching us, Ronak and Anand, they've kind of been together from ninth standard, right? So I thought me and Srinath were kind of the oldest co-founders ever types, but you guys beat us by a huge margin. Or so, I mean, literally, it's like a relationship, right? Getting married from ninth standard, you know, a person, and then to run something along with that person. How did the idea start off Fully Filmy for you and Anand? If you could walk us through the early days.
Okay, so to tell you about Fully Filmy, I have two more founders, which is one is Anand and one is Karthikeyan. So Karthikeyan I met much later, around 2013 when we joined another company. I met Anand in ninth standard, like you mentioned, and both of us were like middle class boys. But we always wanted to do something different. We knew that we are not going to fit into this rat race. Though it works for a lot of people, as in a lot of people are completely fine with going the route of getting marks, getting a rank, getting an engineering degree, and then getting an IT job and then settling down. But we knew we were going to go down this path, but we also knew that sometime we might have to do something different, but because it's not going to last forever for us. So we always had this inkling to start something, in the sense like start a business of some kind. So, and we've been through like multiple ideas. And one of the ideas was even like starting a PlayStation parlor. Like there was a time in our 10th and 11th
Gaming
standard
was a
when,
really, yeah.
yeah, everyone was obsessed with going to the nearest WWE, like playing WWE at the nearest game center, right? So we thought we'll start something of that kind also. Didn't work out, thankfully, because we would have been discouraged to, continue in business like very early on. Then when we came to college, I was obsessed with music, of especially like rock music, and I used to worship a lot of bands like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all of these bands and everything. And Anand used to be obsessed with sports. He used to like every kind of sports, cricket, sports, football, everything. I used to get band T-shirts from like a shop in Spencer Plaza, where you'll get like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd
Yeah,
T-shirts
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. Yeah. Anand used to wear football jerseys. He loves FC Barcelona, so he's like a big fan of those people. He used to wear basketball jerseys. And while we were just thinking about that, and when we thought about that, there was one more thing that both of us connected in common with, which was movies. We used to bunk school and go for movies, and bunk college and go for movies like pretty much all the time. And then we thought that there is something like, there is merchandise, like there's like T-shirts and other memorabilia for music fans. There's stuff for sports fans and everything. But why isn't there anything for movie fans? And we did a little bit of research, and we didn't find anyone. There was, I think, few small retail stores in Bangalore and everything. I think there's a place called I forgot what it's called. I think Euphoria or something like that. There is a shop like that which used to have movie T-shirts and TV show T-shirts and everything. So we thought, why don't we do something like this for, especially for Kollywood, for Tamil cinema and Indian cinema altogether. But this was sometime in 2009, 2010. We were in college. We were still struggling to pass, every subject, arrear upon arrear. So we didn't have the money to start anything. We didn't have the experience of starting the business. And also, business is something that is very natural to a lot of people, right? Like, I don't want to pinpoint any community and all that, but business is there in their blood.
You've
In
kind of,
terms
yeah,
of
you've seen business happen as you grow as well, right? Yeah.
yeah. So we had no idea on how things are started in terms of business, how a business is put together, what is a business plan, nothing we knew. We did the basic research of, finding the right kind of vendors, what kind of T-shirt material and all would be there. And then time passed, like 2 years passed, 3 years passed, we didn't have money, we didn't have experience. Both of us passed out of college in 2012, out of SRM Engineering College in 2012. We joined TCS. And we were there for some time, and that short period of time was like the ultimate pushing factor. Like it said that, no, you cannot do this. Get out right now while you have the chance, otherwise it will be too late. So me and Anand got out of the IT field, and we started applying to digital marketing companies, which was something that I was really interested in. I was always a little more creatively inclined, so I wanted to apply into advertising and specifically digital advertising. So both of us joined the same company also, and we were there for about, I was there for about 2.5 years, he was there for about 1.5 years, and over there we met our third founder, who was Karthikeyan, and together during little tea breaks that we used to have, we used to go drink tea 2-3 times a day, and during those 5-10 tea breaks, we came up with the idea, like the final idea for Fully Filmy. Then we started this Facebook page called Minimal Collywood Posters.
Yeah, so I was coming to that, right? Because I think for a lot of people watching, I mean, there's a lot of talk about you start something and then you pivot to something else, right? But then, like from that minimal posters, how did Fully Filmy actually evolve?
Okay, so we always knew that we wanted to make Fully Filmy a reality. Okay, and for that we had saved up some kind of a money, and we had a idea of a business plan. Okay, like what we were going to do in the first 6 months at least. Then we thought that we should probably create some kind of an audience base. We didn't have anything like that. So we created this Facebook page called Minimal Collywood Posters, where I would come up with an idea of a Tamil movie and its design representation, and Karthikeyan would design those posters and put it out on Facebook. And we didn't expect that it'll go that viral. And that time, Facebook was ruling the roost, right? Like Facebook pages, content on Facebook actually went viral and stuff. We got published in a lot of newspapers. People started interviewing us and everything. And all this happened within a period of like 3-4 months. So a lot of our campaigns, like we made Collywood minions, like minion versions of Superstar and everything. So we made a lot of campaigns like this. And within a short period of time, we got a lot of followers on the page. And then just as an extra additional, we know we were going to start Fully Filmy, just as a question, we put this question out to the followers, asking if we started like a merchandise brand, would you support us? And the response was like 100% positive. Like, and this was like thousands of comments, and everyone was like, yeah, go for it. We'll definitely buy from you. And that's how we started Fully Filmy on June 8, 2015. We were actually supposed to start it much earlier, but we had no idea on how to build a website, even though we are IT engineers, and Anand is like a computer science engineer. We had no idea on how to start, so we had to outsource it to someone in Ahmedabad who didn't understand much of English. We didn't understand what he was saying. So it took some time, but finally we launched the site on June 8th, 2015. So it's going to be 5 years now.
Wow. And this entire thing about, like, obviously, like you said, you and Anand shared a thing for movies, right? Which was a closer link for you guys, right?
Yeah.
How has it been? Like, I mean, so merchandise, I remember there was Chumbak, right? It was very cute little merchandise that people could go buy from, right? Very quirky stuff, right? And being so, like, narrowed down on films and or the genres around films, right? How easy or difficult has the journey been to kind of grow from there on? From the idea to you guys now being like such a big brand, how has the journey been?
Okay, see, in terms of audience response, it was not really hard at all, because there are two things that India is really obsessed with. At least at that time, there were just two things India was really obsessed with. One is cricket, the other thing is cinema. And especially when it comes to Tamil Nadu, we are more obsessed with our movie stars than any other state. Probably Telangana, Andhra Pradesh comes close in terms of worshipping our stars. We have like a star worship. Bollywood stars also have lost their, that magic in terms of being legends and all that. So that part was easy about getting an audience. What was difficult was trying to convince production houses, saying that we should, telling them about the concept of movie merchandise itself, right? In the beginning, whenever we would go to a production house and say that, sir, let's do this activity for you, we are going to invest our money. We just want your permission so that we will just release t-shirts based on your movies and everything. And everyone was like, no, adala thevala namaku. We don't need to do all that. Namma hero irukare, hero on the paathu. People come to the films to just come to the theaters just to watch their heroes and nothing more. We don't need any extra publicity, and then they shoot us away. But what happened was that there was one person we wanted to work with at some point of time in our lives, in our careers basically. And that was Mani Ratnam. And it just so happens that our first project started with Mani Ratnam itself for OK Kanmani. So Madras Talkies was one of the few production houses, or probably the only production house, to actually realize that movie merchandise could be a thing. So they pretty much trusted us to take care of this. They gave us the official merchandise contract, and it took off from there. After that, after 2-3 films, everyone started coming to us. Like, all we need, like I don't want to name any particular director, but there are few directors who pretty much lift something from the West. Something works in the West, or something works in some movie works in another language. They want to copy it and make it into Tamil movie, make that a hit. Everyone wants like a proof of concept. Everyone wants to see something working so that they can copy and get it done. True. So, seeing our few successful projects, people started approaching us. Then production houses came to us and they said that, okay, let's in the movie merchandise pannalam, neengale pannunga and the money. So then it took off. Yeah.
So, for example, right, so movie merchandise is a very like whatever you were saying, right? So, on the movie merchandise, the pop culture, right? One is working with specific brands, partnerships, right? So, for a company growth, how did you decide at what point should you start venturing into each one of these, or is it more of timing, or you guys decide and say, "Idu pannalam, aduthu ippadi pannalam"?
Okay, plan it's just about 60-70%. Rest of the 30% is just going with the flow and complete randomness only. When we started Fully Filmy itself, there were out of 7 designs, I think 4 or 5 were related completely to films, and 2 were just related to pop culture. Example of one of our first ever t-shirts was Moodle. It just said Moodle. So
seen it quite a bit.
Yeah, so it is still popular. It's still being sold. Still a lot of people are buying that particular design. So films actually is just one of the things. Our main thing is actually pop culture, and we want to basically celebrate everything that people love and people say, the words that people use in their daily lives, and everything that people are associated with. And films is a major part of it. And we also started taking these words. Over time, we started making merchandise based on Bigg Boss and everything. So at each point of time, pop culture keeps on giving, right? Some trend or something has always been going on. And after a point of time, when these pop culture t-shirts became more successful, like those designs are more successful. They are even more successful than our official movie merchandise and everything, right? So when that started happening, that's when we thought that, okay, maybe we should venture into other fields also, like for example, sports. And one other team that, one particular entity or brand that we wanted to work with from the very beginning was CSK. Like the first time, I'm not a very big sports fan, but when IPL debuted and CSK, that whole phenomenon was there, and we got tickets to go watch the first IPL match. Like, I can't explain that feeling. Like, it was absolutely surreal to see such a fanfare for something so new. And when Dhoni walked out and all that, it just got crazy. And yeah, all those memories with Hayden and everything. And we thought that maybe someday this brand is what we want to be, or at least this brand is something that we want to work with at some point. And then we decided that, I think it was in 2017 or something, that we decided we'll go into other fields also, like sports and this thing. And we'll start approaching teams like CSK. And we've been trying for 2 years, and it just so happens that this year we got the official merchandise contract for CSK. And unfortunately, the COVID situation happened. Otherwise, we would have had a pretty much like the best campaign that we've ever seen. And it already started off. It's just that coronavirus just put a full stop to all of this. Not a full stop, but like a comma. So things to be continued after this goes away.
So how did you handle like it's not very easy, like you've something that you've aspired to do a partnership, and then like you finally managed to lock that partnership, but then everything just goes for a toss. Now IPL has been postponed indefinitely. Like how do you manage this? How do you kind of tackle these kind of things?
Okay. See, over the last 5 years, and generally, I look at everything with a slightly optimistic perspective, in the sense that there are so many events that have happened that will tell you that you cannot go on further. Okay. A lot of stuff that has happened. Example, once our website got hacked in the first 6 months, our Fully Filmy online store got hacked. And we had to stop operations for like 15-20 days. And like first 5-10 days, we were completely helpless. We had no idea what to do. We thought, okay, that's all. Fully Filmy is over. We'll just go off. Because we didn't know how to solve it also. Because we're so bad at, anything with... But there was one point in time, after 20 days, we discovered a new platform called Shopify. And then we built the new site overnight. And things took off and things came back to normal. This was one event. There was another event in the same year in 2015 December when Chennai floods happened.
Floods
When
happen.
floods happened, again, everything got paused for like around 5 to 7 days. First 2 days, we didn't know what to do. Again, complete hopelessness. We lost all hope. After the third day, like my friend had a catering service. What we decided to do was let's not think about Fully Filmy at all. Let's just go try to do something good for the people around us, like whatever we can. So we went to the catering service and we got like free food packets prepared and we started distributing to like other people. So in that time we were just concentrating on that. After a few days, again things came back to normal. Business went back to normal. In fact, from 2016 onwards was the point when Fully Filmy completely started growing, like complete upward curve since then. So the perspective that I follow is that if anything happens, if anything bad happens, even if this coronavirus has stopped us from doing everything, and we've been on like this standstill for so many days, and I don't know how many days it's going to go for, I'm sure that we'll get out of it. Like 1 year down the line, this is going to be a story to tell. It's not going to be like, it's going to be like a temporary comma, that's all. Things will get better. So right now we can't really do everything. Right now is a good time to just pause and introspect, learn from our mistakes, try to redefine our process and everything. So this is the time we can do that. We can't do anything else. But I just think that things will get better. There's nothing else that I can do right now as a team.
Okay, so I think two questions here. So one is basically, so when you started off here and you're still a slightly smaller brand, right? And when you're reaching out to bigger brands like Madras Talkies, CSK, right? Are there any tips you'd like to leave or people who want to look at Nachina brand? How can I go talk to a larger, bigger brand, right? Any thoughts on how do you guys manage to crack such kind of partnerships?
Like how a small brand can talk to like a much bigger
brand and then get that.
Yeah.
What does it work for you guys?
Okay, like when we started off, it is just blind cold calling. In the sense, we use whatever contacts we can, whoever we know. Like for example, the first people we spoke to, one of the first production houses we spoke to was Radan. I think they were producing Mari at that point of time. And at that time, we just used this guy knows this guy, this guy knows this guy, this guy knows this guy, and we somehow got a meeting and made it happen. So I think the only thing I can say is use contacts. Now, of course, we're in a much better place where the production houses themselves come to us. But you just have to use your contacts, nothing else. You just have to be at the right place at the right time.
Okay. The other question I had was around like the whole thing about creating viral content. I mean, a lot of the talk in the online community is, hey, how to create content that goes viral, right? So what is your take on that? Like when you design merchandise, you design a particular product, right? How do you guys go about the creative process of like a funny but at the same time like should have good demand that more people come and buy?
Okay. So firstly, there is absolutely no formula to viral content. Like if there was a formula, everything will be going viral. So it's not possible. What I personally do is like, it's a very simple thing. I notice a lot of what people are talking about, in the sense how they are talking to each other, the words that they use and everything. We take that and add one more layer of like design or something like that to it. And that's how things take off from there. Like if, if someone likes Basha as a movie, okay, I try to find out what else they like. Example, if they like Minions, it's been going in a trend during that time. We mix both of them. And in the end, you get Collywood Minions, like superstar Minions as such. Same thing with Avengers, like Avengers was trending at one point. And on the other hand, on Twitter, I think there were a lot of these memes had started exploding on Twitter that time. Like Power Star and Premji and everything were on pretty much on every meme. So we fused both the concepts and then we got Collywood Avengers as such. So that became a thing of its own. So what we do is we take two different things that people like, we mix them together, and that's what gives like a completely new product.
And I wonder from a sorry, go ahead, Suleiman. Go ahead.
No. This concept is basically what every Tarantino film is based on. He takes from 1,500 different places, and in the end, it becomes something unique. You copy it from so many places, but then in the end, you fuse it in such a way that it becomes like a unique product. Unlike some directors over here who take from one movie and you can அப்படியே see where they took it from. So அது வந்து work out ஆகாது in the end.
So product lab இருக்கலாம், but net, do you believe that on the product for reach and distribution, is that your community that is helping you fundamentally get there, or what are your thoughts there?
From day one, 100% the focus has been on building the community also. Even right now, we are using this quarantine time to not completely like oversell our products, but we are trying to establish conversations with our fans and everything. And all of the content that you see on our Instagram page, especially right now, is like the product of user generated content. Like there is a series that we have on our Instagram page that's going on right now called Cinema Petty. So like each post is basically a memory that someone associates with cinema. And in the beginning, we gave our own memories, like in the sense, like some movie that's associated with me, and then some of our other team members. Then slowly people started sending in their own memories of cinema, and the entire series right now is completely built on that. And for the next 4 months, we have so many memories that we have content for the next 4 months. So right now, we are completely focusing on getting back that community again. So I think this time has been really helpful in re-establishing that connection with our fans and everything. Before this, it was completely about targets and goals and everything. This much sales targets and everything. So this is like a very good reality check. It's like kind of taking us back to our roots, reminding us of why we started in the first place.
So in the money space, like there's obviously there are bigger brands, right? Obviously you've created a small niche, right?
Yeah.
Around pop culture and films. But Amazon, right? There's so many other kind of vendors who are coming in with their own private label brands. How do you look at competition? And as an entrepreneur, like, what does it mean for you?
See, Amazon might be in the e-commerce space, and they are like it's like a supermarket, and we are like a completely like a brand which has its own loyal followers, and that's why people keep coming back to us. And even in our sector, if you look at our competitors who are Bewakoof and Soul Store and everything, they continue to do better, year on year. And Bewakoof has launched its own app. Soul Store is going to launch its own app. So that if any kind of brand that has like a very loyal fan base is definitely going to survive in the long run. Of course, Amazon might have some kind of effect on us. But the thing is, even if Amazon is having like some adverse effect on us, we can always have our products on Amazon. It's not going to be. It's about just collaboration. So I don't think Amazon is going to be like a destroyer of other brands and everything, right? And right now, if you see, simple example is right now in a time of crisis, Amazon is not working. In the sense, only the essential services are there, and even if you order, it takes you like around, I don't know, maybe 4-5 days to come in most places. But the only stores that are working and the stores that are that people are going to is the small Anachi Kades, like the Anachi small stores and everything, which has always been having a loyal fan base for it. Of course, Amazon might slightly have maybe like a slightly it may stop or pause their activities for some time. It might have some kind of an adverse effect on their sales, it might bring their sales a little bit down, but overall those guys are, if they establish their presence in their community, which is their areas and everything, I think they are going to survive in the long run. So that is, I think, it's a good example for Fully Filmy also.
Guys, hopefully you're able to hear Ronak better now. So Ronak, it's a very important part of the conversation now. We have something called the rapid fire. So I have a bunch of questions I have written down from users also from the poll.
Hey.
I'm going to quickly run them through. Starting with Supandia Shikari Babua.
Supandi. Shikari Sambua. Okay. Yeah.
Shikari Sambua, Supandia, yeah.
Supandi any day. Too much nostalgia associated with, like, I used to read Tinkle religiously as a child, so Supandi is like the all-time favorite. And it's his birthday today, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, something like that, yeah.
And Bashava Annamalaya.
Annamalai. 100%.
எல்லாத்துக்குமே வயசு சொல்லணும் சும்மா அப்படி சொன்னது ஆன்சரே இல்ல
Oh, why rapid fire is சொன்னீங்க அதுனா see Basha is amazing, a lot of people like Basha and all that, but Annamalai has a much more personal connect. I used to watch Annamalai once a day when I was little. Basha I didn't really watch that much, and I think Annamalai only I watched in the theater. Basha ticket கிடைக்கல. So Annamalai is also kind of like our story, like கீழ இருந்து மேல வரது மாதிரி, kind of like that.
So there's one movie that you wanted to kind of go back and get associated with Fully Filmy merchandise. என்ன மூவியா இருக்கும்?
Maybe Padayappa, I don't know. Maybe Padayappa. Padayappa is another, after Annamalai, Padayappa is like an all-time favorite, maybe something like that.
Your must-watch across Netflix currently. Any recommendations?
Netflix. Oh, this is too much going on. Like in terms of Netflix, I'm watching Tiger King right now, and Tiger King.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a docu series. It's about, I don't even know how to explain it. It's about these weird guys in the US who have tigers as their pets. Like there is one guy who has around 206 tigers in his background, and he runs like a zoo, like his own private zoo. And there have been murders around that and everything. So it's like really effed up. So it's like, but it's a very, very engaging show.
Interesting. Okay. And two souvenirs that you always end up buying when you travel.
When I travel, what I end up buying is this was another question that came in my personal Instagram also. So one thing I always buy is like metallic signboards, like whichever place I go to. Suppose last time if I went to Amsterdam, I'll pick up like a sign that says Amsterdam, so that I always have some kind of memory attached on the wall. So if you see behind also, there's something on my wall all the time. So this is a super deluxe poster that I have. Nothing to do with travel, but so I like putting up posters and everything. So metallic signboards is one thing. Otherwise, I collect postcards wherever possible. Like whenever I travel abroad, I always collect like the postcards from either the post office there or any shop that I get. So two things. I don't really hoard that much otherwise. And I sometimes I steal stuff from restaurants and cafes or bars and like I don't know if it's
you don't endorse these views.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, but yeah.
Customer வந்து மாட்டிட்டாரா ஜெயில
இல்ல ரொம்ப harmless stealing தான். ஒரு mug, ஒரு glass, இல்ல ஒரு chopstick அந்த மாதிரி தான். Not something very big.
So travel பேசும்போது, what has been one of the most interesting countries you've been to? Any memory of a country that you think like செமையா இருந்தது?
My favorite trip, pretty much of all time, my favorite country of all time, I think would be, other than India, would be Spain. We went to Barcelona, I think a couple of years back, and just the vibe of the place, right? Everyone is doing their own thing. No one cares about what the other person is doing. Everything is like really free, and it's a very beautiful looking place. Like the entire city of Barcelona, the old quarter of Barcelona, where they have these old buildings and everything. Because I'm a very big fan of but I really love history and architecture and everything. So for a person like that, any country in Europe, but specifically Spain, is a really beautiful place.
The Gaudi Museum is a beautiful experience. The Gaudi Museum is amazing.
Yeah, and especially there's this basilica over there, right? The La Sagrada Familia, which is still being in construction. So when you actually look at that, and when you see this, when you read the story behind it, it's like something amazing. But yeah, Spain would be my favorite, absolute favorite.
So one of the most funniest incidents that's happened to you on while traveling?
Sorry?
The funniest incident that has happened to you while you've traveled abroad. Up until now, what would it be?
Funniest incident? Funniest வந்து கொஞ்சம் time ஆகும், but we went to Philippines recently. And it was kind of a scary experience. So there is this thing called cliff jumping, right? During the day, what you do is you start jumping from 5, 7, 10, 12, 40, 50 feet cliffs right into the water. I'm already terrified of heights as well as water, but I thought, okay, fine, it's something that all my friends are also doing, so let me just do it. So I thought I'll overcome the fear, get it done. So we finished that. The thing is, our other friends of mine got really excited, and the next day we decided to do the same thing in another unexplored cliff in the night. So we went up to the cliffs at 6 o'clock, and by the time we were supposed to make the first jump, it was completely dark. And this was at the point where this was supposed to be kind of like my bachelor party. I had just recently got married. So on the time, just to jump into blind, complete darkness with just few months left for my wedding was scary, funny. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, finally we did it. Finally, we're alive, and I'm talking to you right now.
Super, great. So I'm going to give you a bunch of countries, and I want to test your film ability. I'll give you a country name. Tell me which movie comes to your mind first.
Okay.
Deal? Okay, Japan.
Lost in Translation.
Okay, Switzerland.
DDLJ.
India.
Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. Sorry.
India.
India. Yeah, India sonna every movie is India only, no? But
One movie
maybe
Mr. India kuda sonna ipo neenga venna.
Mr. Okay, I'll say Slumdog Millionaire, like from another perspective.
Super. Okay. Malaysia.
Kabali.
Australia.
Australia is Indian. There is one song in India, no? Telephone Manipur. Adu on the Australian kangaroos vechla.
Amazing. Sama. Super fun. Great. Thanks for coming in, Ronak. If the parting message, Sama fans irukanga pola. So if you want to kind of leave some thought in this slightly testing phase, what would it be?
இல்ல ஃபேன்ஸ்லாம் இல்ல நம்ம பசங்க தான் அவங்க வந்து வேற வேலை இல்லை இப்போ ஏதோ வளரிட்டு இருக்காங்க பட் பார்ட்டிங் மெசேஜ் இஸ் லைக் something related to what I said earlier. Like I have this tattoo on my hand. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, it's a Hebrew tattoo. It basically translates to "this too shall pass." So whatever phase we are going through right now, it's completely temporary only. Like it's going to get better in a few days, no matter how dark it looks. I just hope that none of the people who are watching this right now, none of their family members are affected in any way. If that is not a problem, then just be assured that this is going to pass. Everything is going to be fine, whether it's your business or your personal life, whatever it is. Everything is going to sort itself out after some time.
Great. That's super optimistic and positive. Thanks, Ronak.
Thank you so much, Hari. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for joining us. Bye. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Anamagadu. Thank you.
Bye-bye.